Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And I always love people coming on who can tell us about some really cool programs happening in our area. This happens to be one of them as we welcome in Michelle Keefe, the Assistant Advancement Director. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having
we
us.
appreciate it. And Miss Mary Boudreau, T-Dog Spirit Store Director.
That's right.
Very
Thanks for
cool.
having us.
All right. So tell me a little bit about this card draft. This is a great idea. How did it come to be?
Okay, so the card draft actually started in 2005. This is our 19th annual card draft.
Holy cow.
It started off prior to then as a fundraiser for the band department. It was called Oktoberfest.
For E.D. White.
For E.D. White. It was a fundraiser for band.
Right.
After a few years, I think it was getting to the point where the band just wanted to give it up. It was getting to be a little too much.
Right.
So instead of stopping it completely, Boyd Hebert, who was the head baseball coach at the time and a teacher at E.D. White,
Right.
decided and asked for permission to start a fundraiser for the athletics department.
Oh, okay. So they just kind of
So
transitioned.
he kind of just transitioned it to an athletics fundraiser. The reason it's called the card draft is because it was always held a couple of weeks before the NFL draft.
Oh,
so he would have Bobby Hebert and Mike Detillier.
Yeah.
They would come on and they would host their own little show at the event itself, talk about the upcoming draft, players, everything else.
And let me tell you, I don't know if there's two more knowledgeable people about the draft than who's coming on, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that cool?
Exactly.
In our area,
And
so
I heard it was a heck of a show that they put on.
I can promise you, they do that every Tuesday during football season here, right here at this desk. You're
was a
sitting in
fun
Bobby's
time.
seat, actually. I'm sitting in Mike's seat. So believe me, the way that they do things is exceptional. So great call for
Exactly.
that. So they would do that right before the NFL draft.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like I said, it was always held about 2 weeks or so, a week or two before the NFL draft started.
Okay.
So they just talked about the upcoming draft. They would have a silent auction, pen and paper way. Well, just over the years, it transitioned to what it is today.
Okay.
About 6 years ago, we approached one of our alums, and he was telling us about online bidding.
Okay.
So we decided to look into it. Couldn't hurt.
Right.
Because at the time it was pen and paper. And to be honest with you, that was back in 2018, and that was the best thing ever because, as we know, in 2020, COVID hit in March. And at that point, we had already had all the items because it was scheduled for April.
And everything kind of started February, March, right?
People
When
had
things started to
already
shut down.
Exactly, and all of our supporters were familiar with the online bidding, and we made the call after we found out that school was going to be done for the year that we were going to still hold the event and just hold it virtually.
Wow.
So for the next 2 years, it just worked out to where we were able to hold the card draft virtually because everybody was familiar with the online bidding.
Right.
And then that was in 2020. So in 2022, we were able to go back in person at the Civic Center.
And do that live right there.
And we're able to go back live with it. And we just stuck with the online bidding.
I love it. And so y'all have a mascot.
We do.
All right.
His name is T-Doug. He is the cardinal who represents our school.
Right.
And he is the namesake behind our school spirit store, which is where I work.
Right.
And also I help Michelle with advancement and card draft.
Right.
So yeah, T-Doug is it's short for Douglas, Edward Douglas White.
Edward Douglas. Got you. T-Doug. I like it. Bobby would be proud. His son's T-Bob.
That's right.
Whom I went to school with. So let's put the flyer up if you don't mind. I want people to know what they can be a part of. And so this is really, really cool. So put the flyer up for me. Thank you. Card Draft 2024 on 4/19/24 is when it's going to take place. There's online bidding. There's a cook-off, an open bar. They have live music, a retro bidding table. I like that option. Very, very cool. For adults only, there is It's an adult-only event at the Harang Auditorium where you can bid on great auction items. And again, supporting E.D. White High School is a very important thing. You can view the auction items, and you can text card draft 24 to 76278, or you can visit carddraft24.givesmart.com. So really, really cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And so, ladies, this is such a great idea. I love that it's going on for some years now. It transitioned from when my son was in band at E.D. White at that time. So it was supporting him in band. And now it moves forward through to the next generation of people that can now get that through athletics and get that support.
And just so people know, it also still supports the band department, the band program. We have band parents who help us out that night. So part of the proceeds from that night will still benefit band.
I love it. And those go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Now, people don't always realize that, but the band and athletics go hand in hand. They work together. In fact, it's very, some of the things that they do with indoor percussion and some of the specifics that they do with on the field and really being a part of the band, and it accents the athletics very, very well. And I know firsthand about that with E.D. White. My niece actually coached a bit at E.D. White. And so that's just really, really cool. So you guys have started and get to continue with some really wonderful programs to help fund them. And you guys are doing that. So that's really, really cool. Some final thoughts, really excited about this year?
We are. We have some new additions. Well, the cook-off has always been there, of course. We can't do it without Grady V's and Peppers for helping with the open bar. I'll let Mary discuss about the live music and retro bidding table, which is still new.
Final thoughts?
For the retro bidding table, we're going to have old school pen and paper, and we're going to have live music this year by Thomas Pate, who's actually a 2021 alum for us. So
very cool.
Oh, and we're doing a live auction this year. Lots of new things, lots of fun happening.
Very exciting. Thank you so much for joining us. Want people to go out, and they can do that online as well.
Thank you.
All right, we appreciate it. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on Bayou Time.